Okay, as you know, I refurbished the brakes a couple of months ago. It all went quite well, but the brakes are a little bit spongy, so I've done some investigation and found that my discs are a little bit undersized and there's a little bit of warpage in them. So I suspect that's causing me to have soft brakes. They're not completely bad, but there's just a little bit of softness when you first apply the brake. So I've decided to replace the discs. This is on the front, of course. I'm going to replace the discs, and I've also decided to replace the calipers with new calipers as well. So I'll show you the process of that. Okay, well, as you can see, I've decided to replace the master cylinder. I really wasn't happy with the system as it was. I had soft spongy brakes, and that just is not acceptable to me. I tried to buy the original master cylinder, but you just cannot get them. So I've put a new Lockheed cylinder in there. I won't show you the procedure for that on this video because I took the old cylinder out and refurbished it and put it back in, so it's the same procedure. And I've also replaced the discs and the calipers, so you'll see the process in the remainder of this video. Some people have been asking me how I remove the lower bolt, or the lower mounting bolt for the master cylinder. You can get 1/2 inch spanner on this, only just, and it's just in that position there. You can do it. You need to, when you've got this cover off, you need to manipulate the bolt and spin it around until it lines up with a 1/2 inch ring spanner, and you can just get it in there. I don't know if you can see that, but you can see the spanner around the bolt head. So there's a bit of run out here, movement in and out, and what it does, it pushes the brake pads back into the cylinder, causing a little bit of softness on the pedal. And the discs themselves, they're not terribly scored, but they're a bit undersized, so I've just decided to replace the whole lot. Okay, I'll undo the calipers first. 5/8. Just let that hang for the minute. Okay, first part done. The next step is to remove that cap. It's got a 5/16 UNF thread on it. You can buy a tool to remove this, but if you've seen my previous videos, I use a 5/16 UNF screw with 2 5/16 nuts, and I'll show you how I do that. 2 nuts, first one, screw it on, then the second nut I'll screw halfway on. Would work better if you had a thick nut, but I've only got 2 thin ones, so get the second one on. Easier said than done, but that's it. Lock them together, and then this is only about 40 long, but probably best with a 50 long screw. This one's just a little bit too short, but it still works. So screw this in here till it catches the threads, and then we just prise it off with a set of grips. Here it comes. Job done. Bit of a tight fit, but there we go. As you can see, that only catches by about 3 threads, but it's good enough. So the next thing I need to do is remove that split pin, and that can be quite tricky. Okay, it's taken me about an hour to get this split pin out. Job done. Okay, it should just pull off. Don't want anything falling out. Okay, I'm just going to separate the disc from the hub. To go. Okay, that's the last one. So that's the old disc off. Pretty scored here on the inner part of the disc. I mean, it looks okay, but it is undersized, and I think it's warped. So we'll get the other one and reinstall it. So here we go, one new disc. Good to go. Okay, we'll just reassemble it. Quite heavy. Okay, I'll re-grease that bearing before I put it back in. Okay, let's get the hub back on. Okay, now we need to torque it up and line up the split pin hole with, okay, there's a hole through the shaft, the threaded area, which you have to line up the castle nut with, and then you can put your split pin through that hole there. Okay, there's a range of torques for this so that you can line up the hole with the castle nut, and it's 40 to 70 foot-pounds or 55 to 90 newton meters, so I'm going to select 70 and see where that takes me. Okay, that's 90. Let's see. Say that's probably 90. That'll do. And the split pin hole lines up here. Probably needs a little bit more. Perfect. I'll grab a split pin and put that in, and the disc installation is complete. Calipers next. Okay, the split pin's in, and I've just lifted up the upper half of the pin. That should make it easier if I ever want to take it back out again. Cap back in and should be job done. Okay, I'll keep this for the other side. Okay, this split pin was an absolute pain to get out. I've had to make up this little puller, which I'll show you in a minute in case you ever get into this trouble. It's basically just a ground down bolt with a little hook on the end. I'll show you as it comes out. Try and get some light in here so that you can see what's happening. To let go now. I think that's it. That's I'm just trying to pry this out while holding the torch. It's a bit difficult. Almost there. This has been an absolute bugger. There we go. Okay. Okay, I'll show you what I've had to do with this little puller to get that out. It's basically a turn down bolt, but you can grind it if you don't have a lathe, and that's what I did. And the idea is to hook this split pin in here and just drag it out, which I did. I hope you get the idea. That was an absolute nightmare, but this thing made it so much easier. Hopefully you'll see this. This is quite tricky. Not tricky, it's just the caliper's so heavy and you have to basically turn the caliper onto the hose, which is quite awkward. We'll see how we go. Once it catches, it's okay. I think it's caught. Yep. I'll just keep turning that on. I can't remember what the torque is. I'll go and find out. Okay, the torque for the caliper bolts is 40 to 45 foot-pounds, which is about 60 Newton meters. So we'll just do that. Now I'll do the other side. Okay, so I'm just checking the run out on the new discs. When you look at the manual, it should be about no more than 0.05 of a millimeter. So we'll just see what this is. Going up to 0.06, yeah, and it looks to me like it is about 0.06. Not quite zeroed, but say it goes up to 0.07 and it starts at 0.01, so it's about 0.06, which is, I think, okay. Eventually the job is done. I've replaced the discs, I've replaced the caliper, I've used the existing pads because they were virtually brand new, and now you can see that the pad actually sits flat against the disc. There's no movement back the way. Previously on the old caliper, because of the warping on the disc, this brake pad was being pushed back into the cylinder and that was giving me a lot of play on the brake pedal, which I just did not like, and this has fixed it. So I'm more than happy with what I've done. Okay, I've had to basically buy new calipers, new discs all round. I've replaced all of the suspension bushes, the springs, the kingpins. I shouldn't really have to touch this car as far as the front suspension goes again, really. So I'm quite happy with what I've done. Okay, thank you.